Miss Humbert here. Today we're going to be doing Unit 9, Note 7. So we're going to be talking about synthetic division with polynomials. So this is basically going to do the exact same thing that long division did, but with a slightly different method. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we did originally with long division. So let's kind of review long division. When we were dividing x minus 2, we would set it up in our long division. So here we have 5x cubed minus 13x squared plus 10x minus 8. So we would ask ourselves, okay, what do I need to multiply x by to get to x cubed? Well, I'm at x to the first, I need to get x to x cubed, so I'm going to multiply by x squared. So I'm taking each of these terms and multiplying them by x squared. And then I get x to the third minus 2x squared. Now recall that that's being subtracted. Okay, so because it's being subtracted, oops, I'm going to want that there for a second. Whoa, good one, Miss Humbert. Okay, so because it's being subtracted, we end up getting, oh, this needs to be 5x squared. Good gracious, Miss Humbert. And then 10x squared. So then you end up with a negative 3x squared here. Okay, so hopefully you remember how to do long division. It's a lot of work, right? Okay, so here's some things to consider. We're going to be using synthetic division today, which actually for most students is easier. Couple things you need to think about. You can only use the synthetic division when dividing by 1x to the first term. So this term right here has to be 1x to the first. It can't be 1x to the second. It can't be 2x. It can't be negative 5x. It has to be 1x to the first. And then you're going to put the opposite of the divisor constant in the box. You'll know what that box means in a second. And then you're going to write the remainders out of the divisor just like you would with long division. So let's go ahead and let's take a look. So first thing I check, okay, this is 1x to the first. Then I can use synthetic division. So in my box is going to go negative 3 because we talked about how it needs to be the opposite of your constant. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out the coefficients, not the letters, just the coefficients of each of these terms. So I have 1, 5, and 6. So now what I want to do is I want to use synthetic division. So what you do to use synthetic division is first thing you do is drop the first number down. So I drop that down and I get 1. And then you take the number down here and multiply it by the number up there. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. 5 plus negative 3 is 2. Then we're going to take the 2, multiply it by the number up there. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Add those out and you get 0. So your last number is always your remainder, and then you have your constant, and then you have your x term. So when we are to write this out, we have 1x plus 2 when you can divide that out, which really is the same as x plus 2. So that's our final answer for number 1. Taking a look at number 2, again, opposite of this term, you get negative 5, and then we have 1, 9, and 20. So then what we want to do first is drop down the 1. So 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. 9 plus negative 5 is 4. Then you're going to take the 4 and multiply by the negative 5, which is negative 20. So you add that and you get 0. So now my remainder is 0, my constant is 4, and my x coefficient is 1. So that's the same as x plus 4. And I don't need to write out anything with the remainder because that remainder is 0. Next, let's take a look at number 3. So opposite of my constant here is going to be a positive 3. And then I get 1, 4, and negative 22. So now I'm going to go ahead and take the 1 and drop it down. 1 times 3 is 3. Add down the columns, I get 7. 7 times 3 is a positive 21. Negative 22 plus 21 is negative 1. Here's my remainder, my constant, and my x term. So I just have 1x, which I can just write as x, plus 7, and then I'm going to do minus since this is negative. You could also do plus a negative if you wanted to. 1 over, and then you're going to put it over what you were originally dividing by, which is x minus 3. So this right here is my final answer for number 3. Now, number 4 is really no different because number 4, you're just dividing by x plus 3. So in our box, still, let's change colors here just for some excitement in our life. So we're going to still have negative 3 in our box, and then 1, and 7, and 12. So first thing we do is drop that 1 down. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. 7 plus negative 3 is 4. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. So I have a remainder of 0. So when you divide that out, you get x plus 4. Biggest thing to remember with this, guys, is that coefficient has to be 1 and it has to be to the first power. Otherwise, synthetic division doesn't work. Now, you'll notice with number 5 that we have a cube term. That's okay as long as this is 1x to the 1, which it is. So we can put in negative 3 here. And now we're going to write out all of our coefficients and divide that out. So you're going to take the 2 and bring it down. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 4 plus 9 is positive 5. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. Add those together and you get 0. So here's my remainder, 1x, and now this is going to be my x squared term. Okay, so really you just keep adding for however many terms you have left. So my final answer, I'm going to put 2x squared together minus 3x plus 15, and then I have a remainder of 0. Okay, so let's take a look now at number 6. Number 6 is the same thing. I have 1x to the 1 there, so I can use synthetic division. I put the opposite in the box, and I get 3, 4, negative 2, negative 1, just writing out all of those coefficients. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the 3 and bring it down. 3 times negative 4 is going to give me negative 12. 4 plus a negative 12 is negative 8. Negative 8 times a negative 4 is positive 32, sorry. And then negative 2 plus negative 32 is 30. 30 times a negative 4 is a negative 120. Negative 1 plus negative 120 is negative 121. So here's my remainder, constant x and x squared. So I have 3x squared minus 8x plus 30. So now for my remainder, I'm taking the negative 121 and I need to divide it over by the original, which is x plus 4. So that's your final answer for number 6. All right, let's take a look at number 7. So let's go ahead and get this set up. So we can stick a negative 2 in there, and then I have 6 and 15. Now what I notice is that there is no x squared term, so I actually have to put a 0 in place of the x squared term that isn't in the middle. And then negative 28 and negative 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's simplify this out. So we're going to bring down the 6. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. 15 minus 12 is 3. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 0 plus negative 6 is negative 6. Negative 6 plus negative 12, or negative 2 is negative 12, or positive 12, there we go. 28 minus 12 is going to give me 16. And 16 times a negative 2 is going to give me a negative 32. Minus or plus a negative 6. Oh, no thank you, office. Is going to give me a negative 38. So now let's go ahead and write this out. So here's my remainder, my constant, my x squared, as well as my x cubed. So I have 6x squared, or x cubed, sorry, cubed, plus 3x squared, minus 6x plus 16, then minus, now we need to take our remainder. And our remainder is 38 divided by our original, which is x plus 2. So this right here is your final answer for number 7. All right, so let's take a look now at number 8. So taking a look, we're going to put our 3 up in our box. Now I notice as these numbers go down, I'm missing a 4. So I'm going to put 2, and then I'm going to put 0 in the place of that x to the 4th. And then I have negative 1, 3, negative 2, and 7. So now we can go ahead and work through this. So we're going to take the 2 and drop it down. 2 times 3 is 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. 6 times 3 is going to give me 18, minus 1 is 17. 17 times 3 is 51, plus 3 is 54. 54 times 3 is 162, and then you have 160 when you add those together. 3 times 160 is going to give you 480, and 480 plus 7 gives you 487. So here's our remainder, our constant, our x squared, our x to the third, and finally our x to the fourth. So now let's go ahead and write that as a polynomial. So you have 2x to the fourth plus 6x cubed plus 17x squared plus x plus 160, and now we actually have to add our remainder as well, which is 487 divided by what we were originally dividing by, which is x minus 3. And so then that right there is your final answer for number 8. All right, let's take a look at number 9. So it says that the area of a rectangle is x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 inches, and the width is x plus 1. What is the length of a triangle? Well, the area of a triangle is going to be length times width, right? So our area is x cubed plus 3x squared plus 4x plus 1. And that's equal to the length times the width, which is x plus 1. Now, in order to solve for the area, what we need to do is we need to divide both of sides by x plus 1. So then, by simplifying that left side, we can get the width, or the length, sorry. So we're going to do that by synthetic division. So I have a negative 1 there, and then I have 1, 3, 4, and 1. So let's go ahead and do this. We're going to take this 1 and drop it down. 1 times a negative 1 is negative 1. 3 plus a negative 1 is 2. 2 times a negative 1 is negative 2. 4 plus a negative 2 is 2. 2 times a negative 1 is negative 2. And then we have a remainder of negative 1. So then we can do our remainder here, do our constant, our x, and our x squared. Excuse that phone ringing in the background, guys. So then what we're going to have is x squared plus 2x plus 2 for our final answer. Then we need to put in our remainder. So it's minus 1 divided by x plus 1 for our final answer. So this right here is going to be our length, and then we need to put it, our label, and we're labeling our side in inches. So let's take a look at number 10. So the area of a triangular sail is 6x to the fourth minus 6x cubed plus 56x minus 32. So we know that the height is x minus 4. So here's to get an area of a triangle, it's 1/2 base times height. So we're trying to find the base. We know that the area is 16x to the fourth minus 60x cubed minus 28x squared plus 56x minus 32, and that's equal to 1/2 times the base times the height, which is x minus 4. Okay, so now in order for us to solve for the base, the first thing we need to do is multiply both sides by 2. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take and I'm going to multiply everything by 2. Well, 16 times 2 is going to give me 32x to the fourth minus 120x cubed minus, excuse me, 56x squared plus 112x and then minus 64, and that's going to be equal to base times x minus 4. So then we're going to divide both sides by x minus 4. So we can go ahead and plug that into our synthetic division. So I have 4 here, and then I have 32, negative 120, negative 56, 112, and negative 64. So I didn't have to put in any zeros because my exponents went in descending order without skipping anything. So first thing I'm going to do is take that 32 and drop it down. 32 times 4 is going to give me 128. Negative 120 plus 128 is going to give me 8. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 times negative 56, or plus negative 56, sorry, good gracious, is negative 24. Negative 24 times 4 is a negative 96. 112 minus 96 is 16, and 16 times 4 is going to give me a positive 64, so there I get a remainder of 0. So now I have a remainder, constant x, x squared, and x cubed. Okay, so then we have 32x cubed plus 8x squared minus 24x plus 16. Now I don't have to write the remainder because the remainder is 0. And it looks like our arrow is in square meters, which it means our side is in meters. So that's your base. And that concludes your note video for today. Make sure you get that Schoology quiz taken. Thanks for listening.